Layoffs keep increasing. Let's talk about it.
How are you?
Nicole, I'm doing good. Staying busy. How are you?
I'm doing okay. It's definitely been a busy time, so I just want to hop right into it.
Totally.
As you may have heard, we've been restructuring parts of the firm by adopting AI to alleviate some high operational expenses. And unfortunately, that's led us to make some very difficult decisions. One of those being the immediate termination of your role. I just want to emphasize that this is not based on your performance as an employee. This is more of a firm-wide decision that's impacted hundreds of employees currently with the company. I know that it's probably very hard to hear, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
This is definitely a shock, considering how much effort I put into this company. Will I be receiving any severance?
So you will be receiving 2-week severance. We know it's not a lot, but off the record, I know last week we were talking about those AI apps that you've used, like Prep AI, where people just swipe to apply. So you can definitely hop back onto that and check it out. You're a strong performer, and I know you'll find a new role very, very soon. But I have to jump for my next call, so my colleague Mark will be on touch and kind of take offboarding. Take care.
Dang. And just like that, you no longer have a job. I have been in his shoes, and I know how it feels, and it sucks. It does. I've been laid off from a company before, and it just feels When I got laid off, it was, the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas were coming up, and I had a baby on the way. My wife was pregnant with our second child, my daughter, and it's just it's a punch in the gut is what it is. And it makes you feel like crap. It does. But I think sometimes whenever that happens and you get let go, they always say, like, what is it, the saying, one door closes, another one opens. I really do believe that. Although the times we're in, this is not a good time to be getting let go. It's not. With the current cost of living, the job market right now, unemployment is rising. It's not the best time to get let go. And I feel for these people, but I also worry because, as they mentioned, their excuse was AI. I think this is going to be a continuous problem that we're going to see, but we're going to have to unfortunately see it play out.
I got laid off from my corporate job yesterday. And I think that this is the reality for a lot of Americans right now, and it needs to be shared because America is not doing well right now. We have a 94% prediction rate that the recession is going to come, but yet our frickin' administration hasn't even made the move to actually say that a recession is coming. And let's actually call it what it is, a depression. People can't afford groceries, they can't afford rent, they can't afford buying houses, they can't afford having babies, they can't afford having the kids in general if they already have them. We are not in a good spot, y'all. I know that I'm just a number in a company, but I thought I was okay. You're going to think that you're okay because you've worked there for so long or you have the right experience. Like, you guys, I have an undergraduate in marketing, a master's in business, 6 years of paid social media experience, both on a strategist and manager level. I have done people management for at least 3 years. I'm a senior level in my career. And yet, when I was hired to do a senior level role, I was forced into entry level positions. I was doing entry-level work as a senior-level strategist, all while at the same time being asked to reduce my workload with AI, and our team was having layoffs every 3 months. I should have seen it coming. I really should have. But the thing is that it was not something that I saw coming, because the day before that they laid me off, I was literally talking coverage plans with another employee who was going on leave for months. How am I supposed to sit there and not think that I'm safe in that moment? I just think it's absolutely ridiculous that we live in a world like this where my manager wasn't even the one that fired me, by the way, or laid me off. It was frickin' HR, and they read off a script. But my whole team got laid off. And this is the reality for a lot of Americans right now. My partner is a first responder, so I'm very lucky for the fact that I can be leaning on him for support right now, because luckily his job is secure, thanks to the fact that, number one, his job is essential, and number two, he has a union behind him. What I will never understand is why corporate agencies have not unionized. We're not allowed, right? We're not allowed. That's part of it. We'll get fired because at least in this corporate world, they're always going to side on the side of business because that's what's making the government money. This world right now is not supporting people. It is supporting business. You are just a number, unfortunately. So please prepare yourself for shit like this. I wish I would have. Oh, I should have been applying to other jobs months ago. I just was so dumb to not realize the signs. I want to talk about it. I think people need to talk about it. I think we need to make this more public. We all saw the jobs report. It was awful. Getting laid off on the day that the jobs report goes out, and it's 22,000 instead of 75,000 new jobs. You know how discouraging that is? If you know of anything in the marketing space, let me know. Use my comments as a way in which to maybe trauma dump. I don't care, vent. I'm here for you guys. I can't believe this. And I'm really sorry if you're going through this too. Here for you.
Wait till it gets worse. Wait till that job report comes out and it's even worse. And as I've been saying in my channel or on my channel in these videos for, a year now, probably a year, is that main data point I'm watching is unemployment. As soon as it starts to tick higher and higher and higher, that's going to worry me a little bit. And guys, you can search on TikTok, like if you just search laid off, there are there's so many videos and clips to watch just within the past week. You can just scroll. People are making these videos left and right. Now, there's two things I want to mention here. The first is, as she mentioned, being prepared always is yes, but I want to take it a step further by, instead of already be looking for other employers and stuff like that, I would take it a next step further, and I would say we need to be prepared financially, right? We need to be prepared financially for whenever we do get laid off, if that's going to happen to us. And what I mean by that is, one, you have to have an emergency fund. You have to have a rainy day fund for whenever crap like this happens to you. Now, experts say 3 to 6 months. I tend to lean on a little bit more of the cash position side, so I like to have a minimum of 6 months. For me personally, I have probably 12 months, sometimes more, but I also dip into that for bigger investments or opportunities or whatever, so I do sit on a larger sum of cash at all times, but it's also because my income can dry up in 15 days. Between YouTube and the mortgage industry, my income can be gone like that. I'm 100% commission based on mortgage, and then for YouTube, it's ad revenue, sponsorships, and stuff like that, and that's how I feed my family. So it's things I gotta worry about, and I gotta make sure I'm prepared for if something like that would happen to me. And just like you do at your job or at your business or whatever it is, you have to be prepared for those things. And the last thing I want to talk about, I'll mention after the next clip.
I'm about to walk into my last day of work at a company I never thought I would leave. I am wearing dark jeans and red cowboy boots because that is what I wore on my first day when I walked into this company, with my head held high and the belief that anything was possible and that I would have a long, successful career there. And I'm gonna go out the same way I came in, and that is with my head held high, with the belief that I will have a long, successful career, and wearing cowboy boots because that is who I am.
What sucks, guys, is this is the worst time for this newer generation, Gen Z, or I don't know if it's Gen Alpha yet, is coming out, but the newest generation that's coming out into the workforce, out into the real world. You guys have it the hardest. Plain and simple. You guys have the worst timing from basically probably going back to the 1930s maybe. Because even in the 70s and 60s, more 70s when inflation was running rampant like it is now, stuff still wasn't as expensive compared to today's wages versus wages back in the 70s. You could still buy a house. It's just you were paying, 13-15% interest, but the house was 50 grand, 60 grand. Now, if we're paying 7% interest on a mortgage, that's $400,000-$500,000. That's a massive, massive mortgage payment. That is probably would take up most people's monthly income after tax. Not even after taxes. We're talking gross income. It's wild out there, guys. It is absolutely wild. And I really think what's probably going to happen is over time, we're going to have to. I don't know if I like this. I don't like it. But I think probably what will have to happen if the government keeps as much ruling power as it does is we'll probably see UBI. Universal basic income. And I don't think that's the right direction to go in, but the other thing that worries me is the power of technology, AI. Now, I also tend to lean on the side that I think new opportunity will present itself as AI comes and takes over jobs. At least I hope so, because like when you look back, whenever, technology was advancing and factory jobs were closing down and people were like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? Or even going back to, the cotton mill days, whenever they were, going and they had a machine to do all that for them, is like you could literally move into another type of industry because as technology advanced, new jobs and new industries presented themselves. So I hope that happens with AI. The problem is that AI can affect every single industry across the board. That's scary to think about. Like when you think about that for a second, how many jobs AI could really affect, that's scary. And it does worry me a little bit. But I'm also on the side of like, that's why I'm trying to also scoop up assets now, to hopefully be able to become financially ready for when that happens. Now, maybe that means there's more in the entertainment space. I don't really know, guys. Let me know in the comments. Like, what the heck do you think? What do you think is going to happen when AI takes over all the jobs, if that's going to happen? Do you think AI is literally going to take over all the jobs? I don't think they're going to take over all of them, but I think they're going to take over a lot of the how do I explain it? The not as technical, advanced jobs first. So like your delivery drivers, your Amazon warehouse workers, like stuff that a robot can do pretty quick. I mean, I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they were talking about that there's already robots that are literally fixing roofs, like laying down new roofs, new shingles, everything. There's robots doing that. So what's going to happen to roofing companies in 10 years, 5 years? It's a scary world we live in right now, guys. And I don't know what to think about it. I don't. But I'm here. So I got to figure out a way to, I guess, be on the good side of it. Try to figure out a way to at least either earn income from it or invest or whatever. Because I don't want to be the person that just plays victim. Like, stuff's going to happen to you in life. The difference is you have your bucket of people who kind of sit back and play victim, like, oh, woe is me, I'm never going to get ahead. And then you have the bucket of people that are like, oh, this sucks, I got punched in the mouth, but what am I going to do to get ahead now? How am I going to fix this? You got to be in that bucket. Because the victim bucket never works out.
Hey Hassan, how are you?
I'm good, just staying busy. How are you?
Doing okay, definitely a busy time. We've been reconstructing parts of the firm by adopting AI to alleviate some of the high operational expenses. It's led us to make some difficult decisions, including the immediate termination of your role. This is a firm-wide decision impacting hundreds of employees. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
This is definitely a shock considering how much effort I put into the company. But I do have a question. Will I be receiving any severance?
You will be receiving 2-week severance. We're literally talking last week about those AI apps like Prep AI where, people are swiping to apply to jobs. So I can definitely check that out. Look, I have to jump for my next call. My colleague March here will be on the call to go over offboard.
Huh. Sounds similar to the other company from the first guy. Yikes. Is AI already taking over a lot of jobs? Sounds like it.
I got laid off today. It's not looking cute because I have to move next month. I have a car payment tomorrow. Gotta pay rent. And it's not giving thriving currently. It's giving recession. I don't know if anyone else is experiencing this right now, but I don't know if this is my cue to become a full-time influencer, but I'm literally like, what's the plan? Like, I don't know. I'm a little bit scared and a lot of bit faithful that I'm gonna figure it out. Crazy though. It's real out here. Anyone else get laid off?
I like the mindset. I mean, it sucks, guys. Getting laid off sucks, especially in this time of era. Like, it's not a good time, and that's why, she mentioned her car payment. That's why I stress, guys, about consumer debt, right? Like, when we have consumer debt and then something like that happens to us, you still have to pay. You still have to make that payment, or your car gets taken away from you. You don't want that, right? So we have to be prepared. We have to make the right financial choices. Like, I understand needing a car payment to get from A to B, but like, we don't need these $40,000, $50,000 cars, guys. Like, go buy something used. If you need a car payment, try to get 30, 50% down, take a 3-year note, and pay that off as fast as you can. So that way you don't have to have that debt hanging over your head that you're stuck having to pay for if you get laid off. And you can also build up your emergency fund. You can also use the money instead to invest and build your financial future. That's what we got to do here.
I lost my job on Monday. Today is Friday. I just got my pay slip for my severance pay. And what do you mean? Nearly half of the pay is gone. It's gone to fucking tax. What do you mean? You took the only income that I'm making right now and you taxed nearly half of it. I don't know what to say. I'm so stressed right now. Like, what the fuck? And the only reason I feel this way is because in Australia, if that money, the same amount of money that I got in my severance pay had been paid to me in Australia, I would have received all of it tax-free. All of it, because there is a threshold for severance pay in Australia when you get cut from a company. And half of it is now gone. And so now I've got to try and work out how to survive months on this, what is effectively now a tiny chunk of money, and I don't know what to do. How do people live in this country? I don't understand. They hate us. They hate.
I will say this as the libertarian in me. I believe in smaller government. Like, that's my belief. Like, I think the government has too much power right now. I would like to see a much smaller government. And I also like to think too sometimes, like, if our founding fathers knew the amount of tax that we were paying currently from, we sell a vehicle, you got to pay tax. You buy a vehicle, you got to pay tax. You're buying groceries, tax on that. Sell a stock because you made some income on an investment, taxed. Severance, tax. Overtime, tax. Income, taxed. It's horrible. The amount of tax that we have to pay as an everyday American citizen, I mean, it's getting to the point where it is it's much. I guess it's too much. Something needs to change. I mean, it is, like, if you're a W-2 employee, you get the crap end of the stick when it comes to taxes. You get paid the most. And then if you're a W-2 employee, and sorry guys, New York or California, sucks to be you, because the state taxes out there are even worse. It is absolutely wild the amount of money that we pay as taxes to live in America. Now, I love this country, I do, but there are a lot of things that have to change. And I don't know if they ever will. I hope. Maybe as, we grow older, we start to try to implement some of these changes, but what a time we're living in, folks. Wild.
I thought nursing in America had the greatest job security. Turns out I was wrong. A new hire who was training with us today actually told me she was laid off from Providence, along with multiple other nurses and a couple pharmacists back in July. And what's wild to me is this is not the first story of layoffs I've heard happening in healthcare. It seems to be happening all over the country. And I'm really curious to know, why is this happening?
Interesting. So my wife used to be a nurse, and that was my thought always. Like, if she usually would work as a PRN, so as part-time nurse. She was a NICU nurse, and I always thought that, oh my gosh, a nurse, the best job security out there, right? Well, then I see this clip, and I've seen a couple other nurses losing their jobs, and social media clips that have been shared and that I've seen or that I've been tagged on. Which, by the way, guys, if you tag me on some clips that you find, like, I can react to those. But yeah, it's crazy because I wondered why. I wanted to see what the comments were from this guy's video. So I saw that, and it says, physician here. I was at a high-level meeting recently. I can't name my system, but I will say it's large and in the Northeast Corridor. Many hospitals are letting people go because budgets are strained, and the upcoming Medicaid cuts are putting everyone in the red. It's really unfortunate to see. I'm lucky I'm hired by the medical school and not the hospital, though I practice in the ICU. But a lot of people will be getting laid off. That's, not good to see or to hear. And it makes me think too, is like, oh my gosh, like which industry is safe right now? I don't know. Again, maybe AI. But sooner or later, the AI guys that are building AI are going to be replaced by AI. I don't know. But this also leads me to think, like, if you guys saw my latest healthcare video that I put out last week, I think it was, you'll kind of get my opinion on what I think about the U.S. healthcare system. And this doesn't shock me, but I also think things like this could be fixed if we handle healthcare a little bit differently, which, that's a totally different book to open up, and I'm not even I'll admit I'm not the smartest guy to even think about figuring out how to do that, but I wish there was someone who could fix this system, because it definitely could be. Anytime the government manages something, like, it's usually never efficient, good, just overall a great product. It's not.
So the company that I work for just went into default, which is amazing because now everybody's laid off. Not 100% sure how I'm going to proceed forward, but here's me documenting all of that step by step. Started as an AI engineer for this battery startup where we take second life batteries, put them inside of large scale energy storage systems, and ship those off to large energy customers. Really thought that was going to be secure. I think we all did, and surprisingly on Friday we got an email from the CEO saying we're all laid off. So again, this is the trip we're on, and hopefully I can document it for you.
Moral of the story here, guys, is we are in the crap right now. Like let's be honest. It looks like the writing is on the wall. Even though stock market continues to hit all-time highs, real estate prices are starting to come down a little bit. Overall, if you're like on the outside looking in, things are not looking the greatest. Like, they're not. Like, let's just be honest. So what that would do to me as an American citizen is I would be preparing financially. Who knows how long this is going to last? I think the good thing to think about here is this always comes in cycles, right? It ebbs and flows. We have economies that go up and down all the time. But I think what has to happen, and I think what's going to happen, is we're going to go through some tough times. The best way to handle that is to be prepared financially. If you still have your job, first understand how lucky you are, and try to keep that job as long as possible, but use that income wisely, guys. Right now is the time to use that income effectively to set yourself up financially if you do get laid off. That way you can last as long as your expenses are minimal and you have money in an emergency fund to live off of while you can. So add up your expenses every month. If it costs you $3,000 to live every month, well, then let's say you want to have 6 months of that amount of money in your savings account, a high yield savings account. So you want to have around $18,000 sitting in that account at all times. For whenever something bad happens, you can live off that, pay your $3,000 a month, and that gives you 6 months of breathing room until you can go find something else. If you want a little longer, double it. Double that amount. That way you can live off. Here's the other cool part. When you're not working and you don't have a job, try to make your lifestyle even, smaller. So that way you can use the rest of those proceeds to go even further. That's what I would do. Like, if my income dried up, I'm living the cheapest lifestyle possible. So you also got to try to figure out how to make more income right now too, to be able to apply more of that money to savings, to investments, to getting yourself, paying off debt, high interest debt. If you guys have it, we have got to get rid of that. Stay strong out there, guys. Just get yourself set up financially and be prepared.